Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk a field on the item table. This field is called inventory value 0. So if you open your Business Central or Dynamics NAV, you open the item card, you will not see this field available because this field is hidden in the item. It's hidden on the item card page, but this field exists on the item table. So if you have to either if you are using Business Central SaaS, you have to develop an extension to add this field to the page. Or if you are using Business Central version 14 or any previous version, you can go to your development environment of CAL. Then you can just go to that page and add that table field to the page. So what I did is I go to the development environment and then I go to my page and I added that page, that field. So that's why you can see I have this item card. If I go to design, I could see actually it does not have this inventory value 0 field on this page before, but I just added this to this page from the table. And then you can see when I open my Business Central item card, then I can see this field under the item fast tab. Okay, so what is this inventory value 0 field used for? So for example, your company is managing the inventory for your vendors. So you do not want to calculate the inventory value in your system because you're only manage the inventory, but you don't want to take consideration for the inventory value into your financial calculation in the system. So that's why then you can use this. If that's the case, then you can just have this check mark checked on the item card. So if you have this check mark on the item card, then when you perform any inventory inbound transactions, if you are having purchase receipts or you are doing a adjustment in the item journal, you have positive inbound entries in the you're doing the item journal for positive adjustment or purchase, then it will not create any cost or inventory value to your system. It will not post anything to the inventory GL account. Okay, so then I will show you because we have customer, they switch to another system and they're not using Business Central NAV to manage to their inventory. They're not using Business Central NAV to manage inventory cost in their NAV or Business Central. They're using another system. They had an integration between NAV and Business Central. So they are only tracking the inventory, but they are not tracking the inventory value in NAV. And then they're using another system to tracking the cost and the financial stuff. And but they're using Business Central for the retail sales and anything else. But they have an integration between the two systems because for some large companies, they're using multiple systems, then they want to integrate them together. So this can be another case you don't want to track the cost and inventory value in NAV or Business Central instead of manage the inventory for your vendors. Okay, so in this case, then let's see first on the item card. So if you're switching the system, you're already using NAV or Business Central to track the cost, and you already have the unit cost. So for the FIFO costing method. So this unit cost is the weighted average. You can always change the unit cost before you have any item ledger entries. But once you have item ledger entries, this field becomes non-editable because this is a weighted average. You cannot change this anymore. Okay, so then if you want to zero out the cost in your system, what you can do is first you have to do a revaluation of your open item ledger entries to make sure for the open ledger entries you revalue the cost to 0. Next thing is you can zero out this unit cost, and you cannot do it by edit because this is non-editable field. And if you click on the 3 dot here, then you will see you will see all those closing entries and what's the unit cost for those closing entries. So if you already have historical transactions, you already have closed item ledger entries, you may see the unit cost on those entries. But what you revalued is only the open ledger entries. So it will not zero out all the historical unit cost. So then you may have a processing report and to help to zero out all the historical cost for those closed entries. And after that, then you can make sure your direct unit cost on the item card is 0. So then when you create, because this for the FIFO costing method, when you create a purchase order on the purchase line, this last direct cost will automatically populate it to the direct unit cost on the purchase line. And also when you create it item journal, this last direct cost will populate it to the unit amount on the item journal. So I'm going to show you. So if I do not zero out this last direct cost, then I can create a purchase order for this item and just copy this item. And then you could see on the purchase order, okay, so then you could see on this purchase order, if we put this item on the line, then you could see this. So as you put in quantity, then you could see the direct unit cost. Let's see what is the direct unit cost here. Right here, it's automatically populated what you have on the last direct cost on the item card. Okay, so on the item journal, it will see it if you create an item journal for this item, and you will see this last direct cost will populate to this unit amount. Okay. So that's why. So if you really want the system not to require any inventory value or whatever, just make sure you have everything shows at 0. You have the unit cost at 0. You have the last direct unit cost at 0 on this item, and just for another security measure to make sure there's no inventory posting to the inventory GL account, and there's no inventory value. Then you have to make sure this inventory value 0 checkbox is checked. Okay, so in this case, if I have the inventory value 0 checkbox is checked, so what I want to show you, I'm still gonna change this back to 10, because if I do this and when I create an item journal, then you could see I can put in this item, put in the location, then this last direct cost will automatically populate in the unit amount. Okay, so which means when you enter this item journal line, you did enter a cost. So if you have that inventory value 0 turned on on item card, even you have this unit amount on this line, when you post this, if you post this ledger entry, if you post this journal line, and I post the item ledger entry, so then you go back to the item, and you will still see the cost to be 0. Okay, so let's just refresh this item card, and okay, so ask me to close this page. So let me close this page and re-enter to this page. So then on the item card, you will still see the cost is recorded as 0 because we have that inventory value 0 flag turned on the item card. Okay, so you could see the cost, the unit cost is still as 0. This unit cost is the weighted average, and it's for FIFO. And if you click on the 3 dots to check the entries you just posted, so you can see because this is a demo system, and the current work date on this system is December the 31st because it's using the future date, so that's December 31st. Okay, so then on the item card, then you could see there's a quantity of 10 posted on this date. Actually, that quantity 10 increase. Okay, So there's a quantity 10 posted. So that quantity 10 is also with cost as 0. Even you adjust cost and you do, so I can do adjust cost for this item, then you can see it will not require any inventory value. Just cost item entries. So it will not require any inventory value for this because there's no inventory posting. Okay, so I already have this item here. Okay, and just click on OK. So it's adjusted. Then let's go back to the item card and click on the 3 dot here. So you could see all the check mark for cost is adjusted, is on now, but I still have 0 cost for everything. So even I enter the cost on the line and it will still have 0 cost posted. So this is a security, like if you really want to zero out the inventory in your system and do not generate any inventory value, make sure you have this inventory value 0 turned on. Another thing I want to talk about, if you create a purchase order but you still have this last direct cost here, then you will, so if you don't have this last direct cost, if you on the purchase line, if you don't have so because this amount will automatically populate to your purchase line as the direct unit cost. So usually to be safe, we just leave it to 0 and the cost on the purchase line will automatically default to 0. Then you don't need to enter anything. Otherwise, then you have to make sure you double check that direct unit cost. That's just do a test like I leave it that way. And we go back to our purchase order. Okay, so if we go back to our purchase order, then you create a purchase order for this item again. I already showed you that that cost will populate on the purchase line as the direct unit cost. Okay, so it's just putting a 1. Now you can see that cost is automatic. Then if you don't have it 0 out on the item card, then you have to make sure you double check on the line and remove this if you don't want to record that cost. So let's see. Now I'm gonna do 2 purchase orders. The first purchase order, I will just remove this direct unit cost on the line, so I can still propose this and receive this purchase order. Then you can see what is the result of the posting to the GL accounts and other ledger entries. So just say inventory 0. Okay. So give it a invoice number in order to post the purchase invoice. Okay. So now after we got the posted purchase invoice, then we can navigate to the GL entries and all the other ledger entries to see what is the posting result if you have $0 on the purchase line. Okay, so let's navigate, and so we can take a look of the GL entries generated. Okay, so I will only expect 1 GL entry, and that GL entry will post to the AR account but with a 0 amount, and you will not see anything posted to the purchase account. You see only 1 GL entry, and this GL entry is posted to this. This is my account. Sorry, it's an account payable. It's not account receivable. This account is my account payable GL account. Okay, and I only have 1 GL entry created, but with a $0 value, and it got posted to my account payable GL account. There's no, you don't see any GL entry for the purchase account, direct cost applied account, or inventory account. Okay, so and you will have one vendor ledger entry generated for that purchase invoice, but that vendor ledger entry is also with a 0 amount. And also you have the detailed vendor ledger entry with 0 amount, and you have the value entry also with a 0 amount, because our direct unit cost on the purchase line is 0. It doesn't matter you adjust cost or not, you will still see this. So the thing is, like, after we enabled inventory value 0 on the item card, then you do not have anything posted to your inventory account. Okay, so then I'm gonna do another testing. So this time I'm just create another purchase order, and I will not, because we still have that last direct cost $10 on the item card. When I create a new purchase order, it's still gonna populate on my purchase line as the direct unit cost. So this time I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, so inventory value 0. So I'm gonna call this inventory value 0, and so I'm still gonna use this item, and this time I'm just gonna leave the last direct unit cost $10 here. Then I'm gonna post this. So now you can see how the posting result for this invoice looks like. So if we navigate to the GL account, you will see two entries, two general ledger entries. One is for the account payable, another one is for the purchase account. But you still do not have anything posted to the inventory account and direct cost applied account. So, because there's no inventory posting, because we have that inventory value 0. So then you could see you have the first one is my purchase account. It's a GL account for my purchase account. The second one is my account payable GL account. So you have two general ledger entries, but you do have tax entries because you have the amount on the direct cost on the purchase line, and also it will carry the tax. So then you have one vendor ledger entries, but this time it's not 0 anymore because you do have an amount there. And also the detail vendor ledger entries has an amount, and the value entry has amount. Because you have that their last direct cost left, you didn't blank out last direct cost on item card, and then that populated on the purchase line, and if you didn't pay attention to zero it out, then you will have some other posting which is not $0 value in your system. So if you don't want it to post that way, then you have to pay attention to that. Make sure it carries $0 value in your system. Okay, because my purpose is like I do not want to track any of this posting in my GL account in Business Central or Dynamics NAV. I'm using an integration, and I'm using another system to track for the financial transactions and for the posting to the GL accounts. So I'm totally just want this system to track the quantity, but without generating any dollar value in the system, and without posting any dollar value to my GL account. So then what you have to do, you have to do the 3. You have to set up your item as the way I set it up. Make sure on the item card you have the unit cost as 0, and also you have the last direct cost as 0, and you turn on this inventory value 0 on the item card. This will ensure like any of your inventory posting will not generate any cost in your system. Okay, so that's everything I want to share in this video. Thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. I hope to see you guys again next time.